Hey folks, Vic here with your weekly video for Friday, December the 9th, 2022. The countdown to Christmas is on. Today I'm going to show you several London closed trade setups. And that's because I'm very pleased to announce that I have rewritten our old London closed trade strategy with several new distinctions and features and benefits that I'm confident will provide you with a nice, objective way to trade these setups. These trades require very, very little guesswork. They are really specific in the way that they need to set up, and when they do, they have historically been very accurate, like really accurate, the way that I'll show you that is for trade management. That trade management is super important, okay? I'm now in the process of recording the entire course, and I'm holding a webinar on January the 16th, 2023, where I'm going to go over this approach in more detail. There is a registration link in the text below this video or in the email that you receive. So be sure to register at least, and even if you can't make it, and I'll send you the recording, but you have to register to get it. After watching this video, be sure to listen to the closing comments, okay, because I'll update you on a few more things that I'm going to provide with this new course. And one last thing, the all-important like. If you like this video and or this kind of trading, let me know by hitting the like button. I'd really appreciate that. And please do leave a comment. Let me know if this kind of trading is something that you'd be interested in seeing more of. Okay, so let's first take a look at some examples of the London closed trade strategy. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple of setups that happened earlier this week on the Euro-Yen pair that's in front of you here. One was a reduced loss, which is rare. They don't happen that often. And the other's a winner. But the main point I want to get across is that very little guesswork is needed to take these trades, right? And I'm sure that for almost anyone it's pretty compelling or relieving or something, you know, to know that there's a short list of factors that need to line up or there's no trade. Like, you know, you wait for a very specific time of the day and the setup requires that certain conditions have happened, or there's just simply no trade. And that makes decision making, you know, really easy. So anyway, here we go. So it was on Monday, December the 4th, and everything that we do in our trading, whether it's you know, what Darko shows with his excellent long-term trading, or with all the short-term trading that the service that I look after, everything revolves around support resistance. If we don't have a good support resistance level, we don't trade. Okay. For this strategy, we use a 5-minute chart for entry. So it's a micro scalping technique, always hands-on, and we want to know that we're at a decent level. And when price came up like this on the 5th, it came right to here, which was here and here. And if you look across here, I mean, there's I don't know if there's anything back. Yeah, even back here you can see this. All of this is a good level, and the other conditions were in place to start looking for a trade. One of which is very important, has got to be at a level of resistance. Okay, so we then go down to our entry time frame, and this is where this is that same level that I just showed you, the resistance level. This right here is where we start looking for a trade. Okay, and it was a very good. It was a good setup. Everything was qualified. The sell on this was right up into here, and for the stop loss on these LCT trades, London closed trades, I'll just refer to them as LCTs. This is what's called a natural stop, where price naturally stopped going up. We use that together with volatility. I always like to take into account the volatility of a pair, because, you know, a pair that's you know, having average ranges of 200 pips behaves quite differently than a pair with a range of average range of maybe 80 pips or something. So we give it a bit more leeway when it's a higher volatility. The stop in this case was like way up here. It never even came close. But you see, when price got filled up into here, it spiked higher, came down, and this is the thing about this kind of trading. You got to watch every 5 minutes and see what's going on. And this is like way longer than it normally takes to get these. Usually these things move away pretty quickly. It didn't, and then we had this nice big move down here. Now it becomes trade management. In this case, what you want to do is, like, you've got a level right here that we're priced up very hard from. You can move your stop above here, or even leave it just above here. You're still going to have a reduced loss. You're not going to risk the entire amount of your initial pip risk, okay? And it's going to get stopped out. and that's fine. So you got to reduce loss. Well, then coming more into our London close time area here, we had another nice drop right here. In fact, you can see we had a swing break higher than a swing break lower. Doesn't always happen that way, but it did in this case, which is kind of extra good confirmation. And the sell on this was that right up to the high here. And then we had this nice fat drop right here. So this trade was up. Like one of our trade management rules is when we get up 1-to-1 on these trades, don't lose money. Like these are, these can be, if these keep going like this, these can become very easily 2, 3, 4, 5-to-1 reward risk trades. But it didn't. But we don't know what's going to happen, right? So when you get up 1-to-1, get the risk out of the trade. You can take some profit. When people are starting off, I go, yeah, take some profit on half your position. Move your stop so you can't lose and see what happens. You've got a winning trade no matter what happens. And if you get it going for you here, great. You don't have to do it that way. You could just be, all or nothing. I won't get into trade management. It's just too much of a topic to go into. But in any event, you can see what happened afterwards. Just chop, 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 chop. It never did come back up to the entry. And I'll move this ahead because I just want to show you something here too. This line here is the next day. So this is rollover. These trades, you don't want to be in these in rollover. This is getting very, very late. There's a lot of chop, nothing happening. You can see we come down and test this low right here just before, we got another, whatever that is, 45 minutes or an hour into the London close. And you got to make a decision about that. That's part of your trade management, but you definitely do not want to lose money, and you want to be out of these trades before rollover, especially when the price is close to it, because you can get stopped out just by the spread alone, okay, without doing anything. So I just wanted to show you, like I say, both a losing trade and a winning trade, which wasn't much of a winning trade, obviously, but believe me, you can get some really nice moves using this strategy, because when you have such small pip risk, it doesn't take much of a favorable move to get a good reward risk trade. Excuse me. But it's always important to set expectations properly so that nobody thinks that you just win all the time. I'm sure you all know that. But in my experience, this is a highly accurate way to trade. But you absolutely must learn and follow the rules, just like anything else. So make sure you register for the webinar so that you can find out more about this strategy. Thanks. Okay, one thing that has been added to the LCT trading strategy is how to trade this strategy at other times of the day besides the London close, which is great for those who simply can't be at their computer at the London close due to the time zone that they live in, or maybe other circumstances. Also, I've recorded over 55 videos since October the 5th, including some live trades as they're happening. So those videos are going to be a great resource for learning these setups by seeing them over and over and over again. And of course, I'll be recording more video along the way. I should say as well that the LCT strategy can be learned quite quickly, especially with the video recordings that I just mentioned. And it could even be used by longer term traders if they have the time or the inclination to take these kinds of trades while they're waiting for their longer term trades to fill. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for listening in. Please remember to hit that like button. I really do appreciate that, as it helps us to reach more traders thanks to YouTube's algorithm. Okay, take care everyone. Have a great weekend and a good trading week ahead. Thanks.